like to thank everyone for your attendance, for being here today, for the celebration of Brendan's life, this memorial service in his memory. In keeping with the dignity of the service and out of respect to the family, we would ask everyone to kindly silence any devices or phones that you might have with you, just to avoid an incoming call embarrassing you during service. We certainly wouldn't want that. We'll begin our time together with a song that's very special to the family and very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Hello everyone. Thank you all for coming today. If you don't know, I'm Shauna. I'm Brendan's oldest sister. I'm a sister. He's my little brother. Brendan Latour Hughes. There's a lot to say about Brendan, but a lot is said just by saying his name. Kid had a heart of gold. He cared so much about others, for animals, collected them like he was Noah. He was all boy, pockets full of rocks and worms, and always up to something. He had this scar on his forehead that might have been for me.
It was.
Now the one on the back of his head, that was from Kylie.
It was.
He was an escape artist. I may have been the one to show you that you can climb out of a window, that is an option, but it was his choice to run away laughing in his diaper. He was quick with a joke, and that damn smile, so big. He was always up for an adventure, just say less. He was always down to clown and such a goof. Brendan was so smart, sometimes too smart for his own good. His hugs were so warm and tight, they lingered long after they were over. And he was stubborn. I don't even know if stubborn's a strong enough word. But that kind of runs in the family, so. So much can be said just by saying his name. So many memories. Brendan, you will be missed, forever loved. Think of me as one at rest. For me, you should not weep. I have no pain, no troubled thoughts, for I am just asleep. The living thinking me that was is now forever still, and life goes on without me now, as time forever will. If your heart is heavy now, 'cause I've gone away, dwell not long upon it, friend, for none of us can stay. Those of you who liked me, I sincerely thank you all. And those of you who loved me, I thank you most of all. And in my fleeting lifespan, as time went rushing by, I found some time to hesitate, to laugh, to love, to cry. Matters it now if time began, if time will ever cease. I was here, I used it all, and now I am at peace. Kylie, would you like to come up?
Hi. First of all, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here today and showing up for Brendan. He is so deeply loved by so many people, and it does bring comfort to be surrounded in that love in a time like right now. I would also like to thank everyone who has supported my family through this and came together to make this possible. We are extremely thankful for everything you have contributed and done for us. With that being said, most of you in here know me, but I am one of Brendan's older sisters, Kylie. My brother and I had a very close relationship growing up. Brendan was always there to support me when I needed it, and I'm sure many of you have had similar experiences with him. He was extremely tender-hearted and somehow always managed to make the people around him laugh, even in moments of uncertainty and discomfort. Even as a small child, Brendan had an understanding that he could use his high energy and bright personality to share the excitement and spirit he had for life with those he loved. especially if it involved babies, animals, or anything outdoors. Throughout his life, Brendan was always testing boundaries. My mom told me that as a baby, he was the cuddliest, calmest child she had until he realized he had free movement. Suddenly, his little feet would be on a running start before she even set him on the ground yet. And that's true. As a toddler, he would jump out the window in his diaper when she wasn't looking, and turn around and giggle as he ran towards the woods outside our apartment while Mom chased him down. He would pick up snakes and spiders he found in the rocks and chase me around with them, or boogers. He climbed trees 20 feet into the air so he could get closer looks at birds' nests and probably take the eggs home with him in his pocket. We were always finding random things in his pockets: crayons, rocks, markers, and worms.
Candy wrappers.
One time my mom found him trying to take baby birds to school with him in his pockets. This was because of his deep love for animals, especially the baby ones. I remember hiding a shoebox of baby bunnies in the closet with him when we were 8 and 9 years old because he didn't have the heart to free them without their mother. He would constantly run up to me and our other brother Liam and present us with some animal or interesting bug he found while playing in the neighborhood. His enthusiasm for nature and adventure sparked other kids in the neighborhood to ride along with him on our bikes in search of snakes, rabbits, frogs, or anything else we could find. When he was 11, him and Liam went outside and gathered probably 15 to 20 frogs and set them free in the bathtub of our house, which turned into the hallway, the bedrooms, and the kitchen. Our mom was pissed. Looking back, I remember how hilarious it was trying to gather all those frogs and carry them in our shirts to free them back outside, and how I found a frog in my closet 2 days later which he wanted to keep. As a teenager, Brendan was challenging, energetic, and hilarious. This is when he really started to grow into his absurd humor and would pull me out of my bedroom to show me all kinds of wild things he came up with. He once pulled me out and said, "You have to record this," so naturally I did without asking questions. He then continued to snort a macaroni noodle up his nose. It was disgusting, and I was absolutely shocked, but we laughed so hard we had tears running down our faces. We loved going on walks around the neighborhood where he would carry Liam on his back or shoulders because he was such a caring older brother who took on that role with so much love and care for his younger siblings. He had a special love for babies and children, which is where you could really see his golden heart. He would chase his little siblings and cousins around until they were screaming with joy and allowed them to climb all over him, spin them around, and even let them play on his PlayStation, which is how you know he really loved you. As Brendan got older, he only made everyone around him prouder. I remember feeling so much pride and love on the day that he became a United States sailor that I felt like my chest was going to explode. I cried for like 2 days because I was so happy. He was so kind and thoughtful that he surprised everyone with special hoodies and picture frames because he knew we'd want them and didn't want us to have to worry about spending the money. As he reached adulthood, he maintained his goofy charisma and was always the life of the party. About a year ago, my friends and I took Brendan camping for a few days. And on the last day, we were trying to make s'mores. As we were getting everything together, we heard a strange noise coming from the car outside the tent. Everyone else said, "Hell no, I'm not going out there." But Brendan said with confidence, "I'll do it." And without a second thought, he literally fought marshmallows from the hands of a raccoon while everyone cheered him on from the tent. We were laughing about it for months. That child was truly fearless. As my family and I have attempted to navigate this enormous loss, we have spent a lot of time reflecting on the impact Brendan has made on our lives and all of your lives. We feel beams of pride knowing he was our son, brother, nephew, cousin, grandson, and friend. We are thankful we all had the opportunity to experience the fun, hilarious, and exciting person that was Brendan. I'm going to miss those big brown eyes and pointy ears and gummy smile until the day I die. But I find immense comfort knowing how deeply loved he was by everyone in this room today, and many others who were unable to make it. I want to again sincerely thank everyone for showing love for Brendan, and know that he lived a beautiful life filled with laughter and adventure, because that is the world he created for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Kylie. That was wonderful. I'd like to share this poem that just really touched me. Time will not dim the face I love, the voice I heard each day, the many things you did for me in your own special way. All my life I'll miss you as the years come and go, but in my heart I'll keep you because I love you so. Mom, would you like to come up and say something?
So I'm sure you all can imagine I cannot speak my own words. I will never make it through it. So Brendan has an entire side of his family in Arizona that was not able to be here today. So I'm going to read something from his stepmother, Sarah. They're all heartbroken they couldn't be here. From the day I met Brendan, he was so little and talked so well, it blew my mind. He was so sweet and adorable. He would come to visit his dad and I during the summers. Over the years, our family would be blessed, giving him another sister, Haley, and another brother, Bryce. He loved his brother and sister, and they loved him so much. There's so many wonderful memories made with this awesome young man, but there is one story that always makes me smile and laugh. I'm pretty sure it was the summer of 2007. He was 4 years old, and Haley, his sister, was about 18 months old. Brendan loved to be outside as much as he could be. He made friends with all the neighbor kids and would like to play outside with them. I told him he could play with his friends as long as he stayed in our little front yard where I could see him through the large living room window. One day, Brendan was outside with his friends, and his dad, who had just got home from work, was taking a nap. I glanced out the window and I could not see any kids outside at all, which was odd. I stepped outside to see no kids, so I started calling Brendan's name. I looked around and nothing. I kept calling his name louder and louder and still no response. So now I'm freaking out. I walked next door to his friend's house and their mom said he wasn't there. I walked out, looked around the street, still nothing. At this point, I'm thinking, what am I supposed to do next? Do I call the police or do I call his mom? I am in full-blown tears, wondering how I'm going to tell his mom, who trusted me to keep him safe, that I lost him. I decided it was time to call 911, so I turn around and run inside to get my phone. When out of nowhere, Brian, which is Brendan's dad, appears in the doorway and he's yelling, "Brendan, you come down from there right now." I start to hear laughing coming from above my head. I look up and in the tree above me is tiny little Brendan just laughing. I was so grateful and pissed off at the same time. When I told this story to him years later, we all had a really good chuckle about it. And as Brendan's mother, I can tell you that 100% sounds like something he would do. He loved to climb trees and he loved to play tricks. She continues, our lives will never be the same without him. He was so loved and adored by his siblings and I, and we greatly miss him and will never forget him. No.
Okay. Oh dear, if you're reading this right now, I must have given up the ghost. I hope you can forgive me for being such a stiff and unwelcoming host. Just talk amongst yourself, my friends, and share a toast or two, for I am sure you will remember well how I loved to drink with you. Don't worry about mourning me, I was never easy to offend. Feel free to share a story at my expense, and we'll all have a good laugh at the end. Thank you all for coming out today to remember the young life that we have lost here. We would like to ask you all to join us for a celebration of Brendan's life at my mother's home. My address varies. Where are they? I've got one here. Stand up. 2 back there. These lovely humans will pass out the address so that you all know where to go. And we'll be playing a compilation video of Brendan. All the little shorts, you know, from Snapchat and everything. We'll have a video to play of Brendan, and then we would like to share stories and just memories.
Food.
And there is food and drink, so you have to come, because who doesn't like food? Parking is limited, so if you could please park on the street outside of the cul-de-sac. But thank you all, because this means the world to us, to have you here celebrating him.
We're celebrating him, we're not mourning
We're
him.
celebrating him. He was amazing. Thank you.